Hello, 6th grade math students. This is Chapter 1.1, the number line. In this lesson, we'll be learning two new main ideas. Our first goal is to learn to represent whole numbers, fractions, and decimals on a number line. The second objective is to interpret and write statements of inequality for any two given positive numbers using the greater than and less than symbols. In this chapter, we're going to learn about various ways that we can represent numbers. One of those ways is through the use of the number line. Let's say we have a set of whole numbers that looks like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. We can represent this set on a number line. That number line can either be horizontal or it can be vertical. In our horizontal number line, smallest numbers will always be to the left. So the lesser numbers will always be to the left of the greater numbers. On a vertical number line, lesser numbers are at the bottom. So a lesser number will always be below a greater number. In these number lines, we are dealing with positive numbers. A positive number is any number that is greater than 0. On a horizontal number line, all positive numbers will be to the right of 0. On a vertical number line, all of those positive numbers will be above the 0. Let's create a number line to represent a specific set of whole numbers. We're going to draw a horizontal number line that represents all whole numbers between 5 and 12. Here I've drawn a number line that includes all of our numbers from 5 to 12. The question asks us to represent whole numbers between 5 and 12. So to complete this number line, we are going to indicate numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. We are not marking 5 and 12 because the question specifically asks us to represent whole numbers between 5 and 12. So 5 and 12 are not included. Let's draw a number line to represent a set of whole numbers from 5 to 12. This will be a vertical number line this time. Please note the slightly different wording in this question. Our previous question asked us to represent whole numbers between 5 and 12. However, this problem is asking us to represent all whole numbers from 5 to 12. It's only a slight difference in wording, but it will change the way you answer the problem. Because the question says from 5 to 12, we're going to include the digits 5 and 12 in our number line representation. So we'll add a filled-in circle over each number's spot to indicate that it is included in the set. And this time, we will include 5 and 12. The number line can also be used to compare whole numbers. In this example, in the number line shown, the number 35 lies to the right of the number 33. Now, as we discussed earlier, in our number line with positive numbers, the value of the numbers goes up as you move to the right. Therefore, we know 35 must be greater than 33. It's larger. The lesser number is to the left. The greater number is to the right. We can write this as 35 is greater than 33. This symbol always means greater than. We could also write this statement of inequality as 33 is less than 35. This symbol always means less than. Let's try drawing another number line together. This time we're going to represent positive whole numbers less than 5. Okay, so we're going to start with a horizontal number line. And let's see. It says we want less than 5, so I probably want to make at least 5, 6 lines. I'm going to label 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so positive numbers less than 5 would be 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. We don't include 5 because the question specifically says less than 5. Now you try one on your own. Using your math homework notebook, please draw a number line that includes whole numbers greater than 9 but less than 14. Go ahead and pause the video while you work. I'll wait. Let's practice with another vertical number line as well. This question asks us to mark a set of odd numbers between 1 and 10. Alright, since the question asks for the odd numbers between 1 and 10, I'm going to have to skip 1, even though it's an odd number, because it's not between 1 and 10. I need to start at 3. So my odd numbers are 3, 5, 7, and 9. I'm going to stop there because 9 is our last whole number that would keep us between 1 and 10. Now you try one on your own. Draw a vertical number line for the positive odd numbers that are less than 15. Once again, put this in your homework notebook, pause the video while you work, and move on when you're ready. Now that we've learned to work well with whole numbers on the number line, let's begin to look at fractions. This question asks us to represent the quantities 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4 on a number line. So I'm going to begin by drawing a simple number line. I know that the numbers 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4 are greater than 0, but less than 1. In fact, 1/2 is going to be halfway between 0 and 1. I know that 1/4 and 3/4 will each fall halfway between 0 and 1/2 or 1/2 and 1. All I've done here to create this number line is to subdivide my space between 0 and 1 into 4 smaller intervals using 3 tick marks to represent each move up the number line. So we've broken the space between 0 and 1 into 4 equal parts, moving from 0 to 1/4, 1/4 to 1/2, 1/2 to 3/4, and 3/4 to 1 whole. To represent the 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4, I'll draw the solid dot that shows these are the numbers we're including in our set. We can use a similar idea to represent decimals on the number line. This problem asks us to represent decimals from 0.1 to 0.9 on a horizontal number line. It asks us or directs us to use an interval of 0.1. So we're going to begin, once again, by marking our 0 and our 1. We know all of our values fall between 0 and 1 because they range from 1/10 to 9/10. We're asked to use an interval of 1/10. So we're going to divide the space between 0 and 1 into 10 equal intervals. I've completed the number line by dividing the space between 0 and 1 into these equal parts with 1/10 intervals. So we go from 0 to 1/10 to 2/10 to 3/10 and so on. The question asks us to represent the decimals from 0.1 to 0.9. So we'll begin drawing our dots on 0.1 and we'll include each 1/10 interval all the way up to 9/10. Using this number line, let's see if we can figure out what the missing fractions or mixed numbers on the number line would be. We can see that we start with 0 and move by 1, 2, 3 intervals to 1. And we also move from 1 to 2 in 1, 2, 3 intervals. So how would we equally divide the space between 0 and 1, taking 3 steps? I think I'm going to try 1/3. That makes a lot of sense to me, since we would jump from 0 to 1/3, 1/3 to 2/3, and 2/3 to 1, which we could also think of as 3/3. So we've gone by an interval of 1/3 and everything fits just right. In the next set, we would have mixed numbers. We would have 1 and 1/3, 1 and 2/3, and 1 and 3/3, or 1 plus 1, which equals 2. I think we've got this one. Now you try one. Draw a horizontal number line to represent mixed numbers greater than 10 but less than 11. Remember, a mixed number is a whole number with a fraction. Use an interval of 1/4 between each mixed number. Press pause and good luck. Try another of these mixed number horizontal number lines for me. This time I want you to draw a horizontal number line to represent mixed numbers from 3 to 4 with an interval of 1/10 between each pair of mixed numbers. Record it in your homework notebook. Press pause and move on when you're ready. Let's try this same idea with decimals. Our question is asking us to draw a horizontal number line that represents decimals between 0 and 1 with an interval of 0.25 between each pair of decimals. I'm going to begin at 0 and move up by an interval of 0.25. Now I need to move up another interval of 0.25. To figure out what that number would be, I'm going to add 0.25 plus 0.25. This is where I'm starting. This is the interval I'm moving up. So 5 plus 5 is 10, carry my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 2 is 5. 0 plus 0 is 0, bring my decimal point down. So my next point is going to be 0.50. Now I can follow the same process to find my next step up, which will be 0.50 plus 0.25. So 5 plus 0 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7, bring down my decimal. So my next spot is 0.75. And 0.75 plus 0.25, which is my interval, will give me 5 plus 5 is 10, carry my 1. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 2 is 10, carry my 1. 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 0 is 1. Ah, look, and there's my 1. So there are my intervals I need. We've gone up by 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, and 0.25. So we have 0.25, 0.50, and 0.75 between 0 and 1. And here is your final guided practice for today. Use what we just learned to draw a horizontal number line that will represent decimals greater than 8.0 but less than 12.0. Use an interval of 8/10 or 0.8 between each pair of decimals. Record this answer in your homework notebook, bring it with you to class tomorrow, and tomorrow evening we will move on to Chapter 1.1, Part 2, which will have us comparing decimals and fractions on both horizontal and vertical number lines. Look forward to it. See you in class tomorrow.